Good afternoon. Good after Wednesday. I know. I was just as surprised as you are, but I got a text, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and I will explain it. So, hey, it's Wednesday afternoon. Today is August 10th. We're a third of the way through August. We're more than halfway through the year. And this is the Mike Meyers Ask Me Anything show. Live, interactive, where we talk about technology and I was going to say Raspberry Pis. We don't talk about Raspberry Pis here. We talk about CompTIA certifications, other kinds of certifications, all kinds of technology, anything except religion, politics, and pandemics is fair game. I, as you probably recognize, am not the erstwhile Mike Meyers. Mike had knee surgery on Monday. And oh man, if you missed Monday's show, you missed a show, and you must go back and watch it in the archive, especially if you're job hunting, and equally especially if you are not coming from a position of experience. But that's not what I'm here to talk about right now. So Mike had knee surgery done on Monday morning, and there were all kinds of painkillers and anesthetic, and he was just feeling wonderful, like it was a non-event. And well, they say time heals all wounds. However, in this case, time says, nope, now it's time for the healing to begin. And the healing comes with pain. So Mike says he is in severe agony. I don't think he used that word, but you get the idea. Okay, what I'm seeing here, I'm looking at just kind of the first batch of comments. And I don't see anybody saying, I can't hear you, Dave. So I'm going to presume that I am audible. Thank you very much. I shot Andrew a message, Andrew Hutz, as soon as I found out that I'm doing show, and asked him if he was available to do back channel. And he said, soft yes, another project. And if the other project is higher priority. So he did not check in with me seconds before the show to say I'm here. So I'm working alone. Thank you, Daniel Thibodeau. Okay. Tibby Dibby. I understand. Very good. So we have good weather here. I'm not expecting any power failures. We have no contractors. So if you were watching my show last week, we had a brief interruption while a contractor was here. It does not seem to be related to the efforts of the contractor. We also had bad weather at that time, and it was a very brief thing. We were actually only off the air for less than 2 minutes, but for my system to recover and all the things come back up, it took closer to 5. But I watched it after the fact and said, I'm sitting here, you guys are watching me jibber jabber for 3 minutes after I was up and running. If I had just ignored all that stuff, but there we are. There was a point to all this nonsense. Anyways, so Mike's not available today. I'm not doing anything special. Just doing what Mike would normally do. We're just taking Q&A, your questions on CompTIA certifications and testing and studying and computer tech and whatever's in the news of late. I try to stay reasonably well up to date on that stuff. Oh yeah, so my point is I did make a contingent plan in the event that Andrew's not here to use Trollnir on Russian bots. Let's just spell it out. Tullowit is communicating with me on my direct message on Discord. So he's keeping an eye out on new messages. If a bot should come up, he'll let me know via DM. My phone will wonk, so I am keeping my phone not on silent. And so if it rings or wonks or does whatever it's going to do, you'll hear it. But I'm not, I don't take calls for the most part when I'm doing this stuff. I have nothing important that I'm waiting to. Yes, Vegas Brent. All right, so let's fill that in. Monday, 2 days ago, you probably remember it. We had a special guest on, Stephanie DeLong. Stephanie is an HR professional. Man, one of the most knowledgeable HR pros I have ever heard from. I met her some months ago and realized that she would be a valuable asset to the program, and called Mike and asked him permission to invite her. And he said, absolutely. And I called her and she said, oh man, I'd love to. And among her many skills, excuse me, is helping identify strengths and weaknesses in resumes and what you can do to your resume to improve it wherever it needs improvement. Cover letters and get rid of this stuff and how many pages are right and what kind of skills should I emphasize and what shouldn't I emphasize. And of course, the question that always comes up on these forums, what do I do on my resume and in interviews, because she offers a lot of interview insights, if I don't have a lot of computer experience. And so we were bowled over. There were dozens and dozens and dozens of questions, wonderful, long, fulfilling answers. And because it was going so well, I sent a back channel message to Mike that said, look, Stephanie is killing it here. So I didn't ask him to run long. He, is that for me? Okay. He asked her very early on, he said, look, this is just going gangbusters. Can you stay long? And the answer was absolutely. And then while it was just cooking along and we were taking a long time to answer some of the questions, I came to realize that not only are we going to have to run long, if we stop for a contest, we're going to miss some really good content. So I shot a message to Mike and said, look, I recommend we hold the contest off until Wednesday, and we'll do 2 on Wednesdays. And he absolutely was behind that. So there was no giveaway contest on Monday. Therefore, there are 2 today. And I'm not doing random number stuff. I wrote up a couple of questions and have them ready to display. So we're gonna have some fun today, somewhere probably around the half an hour or so, 40 minutes, whatever. This totally screws up my routine. I like doing Mike's show. I like this crowd. You guys are great. I love the topics that this engenders. But I make just enough tea to get me through the week. I don't drink it when I'm thirsty. I drink it on schedule. So now I'm not going to have enough tea for my Friday show. I'm going to have to make more. And forgive me, I'm still clearing my throat. It sounds worse, but it's getting better. So let's see who is here and what everybody's talking about so far. Tullowit, of course, is here, helping keep an eye on the back channel. Thank you very much, Tullowit. Appreciate that. Andre de Goyert's here, checking in to see who else is here. That's a good question. It's a different question. Hey, look, if you're watching and you haven't hit that like button, please do. It doesn't help us out, but it does help other people find these shows, and they help them. Muhammad El Abayad, one of my favorite people, is here. Hello. Catherine Morgan, another of my favorite. You know what? Everybody here is my favorite person. I'll just get in trouble by not doing that. So good day, Catherine Morgan. Crazy that we're almost halfway through August, man, isn't it? So 10 days from now will be August 20th, which means we will then be 3 months away from the retirement of the current older A+, 220, 1001, and 1002. I think that is just enough time if you have moderate experience, right? If you've used PCs, if you've ever built one, if you've ever, taken something out and swapped out RAM, you should be able to prepare and pass the exams in 3 months using Mike Meyers materials. If you have less experience than that, maybe it's time to hold off and say, I'm going to have to wait until the 11OX materials come out. We're in paper shortage with McGraw-Hill and electron shortage, apparently, because the ebook is slated to come out about a month before the paper one. If you go to Amazon and check pre-orders, they'll give you dates on what to expect. The world holds its collective breath as to whether or not that gets bumped up sooner. I have no reason to believe that it gets pushed back till later. Everything is on schedule as far as the various stages of editing and things like that. We had a big company meeting yesterday and talked about that. So we're all on track. Juan Flores, hello, howdy, bonjour. Juan, I've gotten emails from you and other messages from the past. You're a howdy guy, so howdy, right back at you. Thanks, Catherine. Hello, Mohammed, Juan. Mike looks weird today. Yeah, he's growing in a little more beard. He went from the the Colonel Sanders goatee to oh, and yeah, there's some kind of silver moss that's popped up on top of there. I'm gonna have to get a an open road hat. The model of his hat is called Open Road. It's the one that Lyndon Johnson used to wear. And I purposely have never gotten one because I don't want to look like I'm trying to copy Mike, but it dawns on me, I do his shows enough time that it might be kind of cool to start out with an open road on top and maybe tape this down with some flesh colored tape. See if I can pass from Mike for a couple of minutes. You may recall sometime early this year, late last year, Shannon did that. She didn't costume like him, but she adopted his character and did not drop character until it became so confusing, even for us internally. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know Mike was, I didn't know what was going on. Let's just go with that. For a moment, I thought it was Friday. Yeah. I was thinking about that too, just before I started the show. When we do our show, drama, Dave Rush Ask Me Anything. If you haven't been there, come and join us. Same time, same channel, except on Fridays. The show starts and the rest of my day is planned out. I'm going to kill 2 hours doing drama and then a certain amount of time cleanup. And then Friday night, we always have dinner with friends. And gives me just enough time to close down any work and whatever that I have to do. And then, get ready to go meet them for dinner. And so it's just before the show and I started putting all my ducks in a row to do that. And then I realized, wait a minute, it's Wednesday. I don't have to do that stuff. I can just go back to work. And the nice thing about this show is it's just an hour. So when it gets done, I've got 2 more hours that I can apply to real work. Dude, I thought it was Friday, says Chris Kent. Sounds great. Ron Lama is here. Hola, mi amigo, Ron Lama. Daniel Dibby Tibby, 5x5. You're good. Thank you, man. Vegas Brent, we still have 2 giveaways. Yeah, so that was the long answer to that. What study material is available on National Cyber Group for 1101 and 1102? Nothing. So that's what it is. The book is written, it's tech edited, it's content edited, it's doing some more back and forth. All the emails and notes that I saw on the channel this week were about review and did we cover this and did we cover that, and either finding where we did it and documenting it or writing up little pieces. But basically, we are this close to turning in the manuscript. There's once the very last word has been written and it's been blessed by all of the editors and something like that, then there's this really cool stage. McGraw-Hill lays it out. They put all the pages together and this is what's going to be on top and this is what's going to be on the bottom and this is where the images fit, and here's an incomplete sentence at the bottom one and it continues on to the next one, and they send that to us and we go through it and say, you know what, we don't want the last word to be the first word on the next page, so we adjust the page layout. It's a very time consuming process because we're basically reading the book over and over. It's not quite that bad, but that takes a little while. And then once that's done, then we send it to them and they make sure there's nothing that's impossible to print, which, in 2023, that's pretty tough since the world prints electronically. And then it goes and sits in a pile at the printing facilities, and they wait for enough trees to get chopped down that they can print however many first edition copies there are going to be. And while the tree shortage doesn't exist, there's plenty of trees out there. Getting them chopped down and turned into paper and distributed, it's very short worldwide. So whatever Amazon says, if you pre-order when it's coming in, then we will print a month before that. Then it takes a month after printing to get them all distributed to the various Amazon warehouses, and our warehouse, we resell them. And so now, where are we at? So the ebook, that gets turned very quickly. And I'm not sure why it's only a month ahead of the paper book. At least, again, that's what I've seen on Amazon. It seems to me that once we do page proofs and page layouts, we could just, electronically handed to whoever converts it into ebook or Kindle format. I don't know what it is, some electronic book format, and off we go. But nothing going there. The course, the video course, I was in the office last week and they were shooting it. Now it's a long course. We got 2 courses to shoot, the 1101 and the 1102 course. They each take about a week to shoot. And then as they're shooting, they go straight to editing. And then there's a lot of editing and branding and fixing and things like that. That takes a month or 2. I believe that the plan on that is to have it ready to release for enrollment on Udemy and our other platforms, Lynda, some other platforms that most people here haven't heard of. They're kind of specialized, but the plan, the goal, the intent is to release them before 10OX retires. So within the next 3 months, everybody's in the same boat. Okay, all the book writers, the Jasons and the Messers and myself, us, Total Seminars, and Daryl Gibson and they all have, same big name publishers, and they're all waiting on paper. We knew a year ago that we were going to print this book and when the book was going to come out, and McGraw-Hill started ordering paper then, and not just for us, of course, they have other books. And the world's paper suppliers said, well, we'll give 5% to McGraw-Hill and 5% to Houghton Mifflin and 5% to, get the idea. So there's only so much to go around. So at the moment, there is nothing for 11OX. And I think the first product that you're going to see from us between now and October 20th, my expectation, will be the video courses certainly on Udemy. That's one of our first platforms to release on. That was a long answer. Hi, TD Washington at 205. Great session on Monday. Man, oh man. Like I said, we got more people here now to benefit from this. If you are in the job hunt market and you're looking for jobs for which CompTIA certifications are appropriate entrees, go and rewatch the episode. There's no filler in there. Okay, we start the show with Stephanie DeLong and Mike together. They do a little bit of hi bye, what's your credentials kind of thing, and then launched into questions. And except for 30-second commercial to talk about the specials this week, and heck, that was it. It was just all Q&A and topic and information. So if you're looking at how to tweak your resume, if you're looking at how to prepare for a tech interview and a personnel interview, watch Monday's show in the archives. You will be glad you did. Marcella Mboda, some tips to study effectively to pass CompTIA Security Plus. I failed it the first time with a score of 629. Also, how to do the performance-based questions. Okay, tips to study effectively. I don't have anything to offer how to study above and beyond standard normal study techniques. Okay, read something, internalize it, make notes, make flashcards, and then right away either read it or watch it on the lecture, but bolster one with the other. Watch the video lecture and then read that chapter in the book, or read the chapter in the book and then watch the video, and take notes, make flashcards. If it doesn't all make sense, before you move on to the next topic, do it again, both of them. And then before moving on, take a practice test, just focused on the material that you've studied right then and there, and everything that you've studied up to that point. That's what our Total Tester product allows you to do. You can specify domains and question types and chapters and all that good stuff. And so you take that test, pass, fail, or something in between, review it. Review every question and every answer. Be able to explain, and if this takes more study and more research, stop and do it right then and there. Be able to explain why every right answer is correct and why every wrong answer is incorrect. And if you do that through the entire course, you will pass this test. And it's a 97% guarantee. And the only thing that stops you from succeeding there is testitis and overthinking. I saw somebody post a question today on a forum where it was an exercise in group overthink. Well, this answer is right if you okay, so whenever you look at a CompTIA question or a total seminars practice test question, if you add in your mind the word if they do this, if they did that, then this answer would be right. Stop. You are no longer answering the question that was asked. You have now created a new question and you're answering that one. Answer exactly and only what's being asked with an answer that answers only and exactly the question. Those are my tips. How to performance-based questions. So what the general advice on PBQs is, skip them at the beginning. That's not my advice. I don't want you to skip them, but I don't want you to answer them. I want you to look at them. I want you to read them. And don't spend any time on there. Just read it over, because while you're taking the rest of the test, that stuff will stew in your mind and you'll have an idea of what's going on when you go back to it. So after you answer all the questions, now you go back and do the performance-based questions. Hope that helps. I know there's more I can give you with shows only so long. How are we in here? We're 20 minutes in already. Catherine Legrand is here. Greetings and hello. William Jeske's checking in. Somebody, William Jeske liked. Thank you very much. I have that screen covered. I can't see how many people liked. I liked it. I was the first one in today. Chris Kent, present and accounted for. Techie Tommy, back amongst the living. Probably has been said earlier, but I just got here. Hey, you're not Mike. It's true. This is the Mike Meyers AMA, and I'm filling in while Mike is healing from his knee surgery on Monday. He was in a good bit of discomfort today and gave me a short notice and said, do the show, I'm dying, or something to that effect. B, you certainly can ask a question. You don't have to ask if you can ask a question. That's the whole point of the chat here. Oh, I don't have live chat on. I may have missed stuff. There we go. So yeah, by all means, anybody who's here may ask any question that they like, as long as it's not religion, politics, or pandemic oriented, and keep it tasteful. Lama, as in the great Dalai Lama, not the animal, Dubai Yama. That's true. I realize that. The big hitter. Dalai, saw him hit a ball once right into a 10,000-foot crevice. You know what he said? He said, Gunga, Gunga Lunga. So I got that going for me. Aliol Ramul. Hello, everyone. Right back at you. James, will there be a Udemy video course for 22011-0X exams? ETA. So yeah, I did the long answer on that. The short one is I expect them to be enrollable before or about the time the 10-0X course is retired. As I get more hard information and they get more editing done, they can, we've changed a lot of personnel. We've added a lot of personnel since the buyout on April 26th. So it's 105 days, 109 days, something like that since the buyout. So there's lots of personnel changes, and they've added people over in the production and editing department. So things could, should, would happen a little quicker than they have for our last couple of courses. So hopefully it happens sooner, but Daniel, let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Hi, do you know how to transfer a copy of Windows from one PC to another? I don't know precisely what you're asking. Let's go with, I see some other people throwing some possibilities. I think some people aren't thinking what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking what other people aren't thinking. It depends on what you mean by transfer. For instance, if you've got it on a bootable drive, there is nothing that prevents you from popping that drive out and popping it into another machine. Now, there's going to be something that you've got to do there. Your NTFS volumes partitions will be your partitions and volumes so that are going to turn up foreign in there. But all you got to do is use boot media and change. Actually, you don't need to do that. It'll boot up enough that you can get into the disk management system, and you change it from foreign back to whatever it was, dynamic, or it's probably dynamic. Our basic is always a chance. So that's one possibility. Another possibility, you could make a disk image, use third-party backup software and make an image of your hard drive on a file, and then generate that image to another hard drive. Pop that hard drive, the new hard drive, into your other machine, and you're up and running on that. And the third way, the way that Microsoft would ask you to do, is to do what they call an image backup. It's not really an image backup, but it backs up all your files and data. So then what you do is, save that to external media, something like that. Then you go to the machine, install a new shiny copy of Windows, and then you do a restore of the image, and that'll put back on the registry and the apps and the data and all that stuff. Well, I hope that helps. Daniel, what if I want to do it using a local account? That's fine. Explain why the answer is right or answering wrong. Okay, good. Glad you like that. Michael Holman, how's it going, everyone? Michael Holman, that's a new name for me. You may have been here before. I have the memory of a gnat sometimes. I don't always know what I had for breakfast right after breakfast. Alio Romuld, I fall into passive learning and ended up taking verbatim notes from the study guide when studying for CompTIA. Well, okay. I admit to doing the same thing sometimes. The last Linux Plus course that I took, I started out by making general notes and the stuff that I know I need to study more. And then something happened in the course, and I felt compelled and obligated to take verbatim notes. It's time consuming, it's painful, but easy to go. Joseph says, what about Udemy videos for updated A+? That's what I was talking about. So we're not going to update the 10.0x and add content and make it an 11.0x. We have a new 11.0x, 11.01 course and a new 11.02 course being shot and being edited, and they will be up as soon as they're up. We'll do a grand announcement the day it happens. I will tell you that it'll happen within the next 3 months and 10 days, hopefully much more quickly. But I go back to the production department sometimes to talk to them, and guns and knives and swords come out and get away from us because I bring answers, I bring questions, and I often bring problems. Hey, you did this, and then, oh, crud, we got to fix this. And if they would let me in on the production at the time, I could do real time. Nope, what he just said is not right. Let's get that researched and reshoot this today. But no. And then so I find it after the fact, and then we have to go through the horror of either trying to edit a solution or reshoot. No, okay, welcome, Michael Homan. Never been here before. Passed A+ back in April, and on the fence about AWS or Net Plus. That is a question that I have perhaps never heard. AWS or Net Plus. And so actually, it's a good question. And the answer is very clear. What do you want to do? Is there a particular job or type of job that you have in mind? Do you want to do networking support? Do you want to do help desk support? Do you want to design networks? Net Plus. And augment that. If you want to play in the Cisco arena, CCNA. Net Plus first, then CCNA. Net Plus covers already what's half of what's in CCNA. If you want to be a cloud engineer, then you don't need Net Plus. There's some good stuff in there. It's nice to know how to do virtual networking, but you don't need all of Net Plus to do that. There's probably some specific courses out there for infrastructure as a service. So it's useful to know. But again, if you're looking to become a cloud administrator in AWS, start heading right down the road of AWS. But at the same time, maybe don't get Network Plus certified. but do study Network Plus. You want to understand routing, you want to understand addressing, you want to understand subnets. All that is very important when you're setting up cloud infrastructure. Austin Sanders at 229, another new face in the crowd. Welcome, Austin. I live just down the road from Austin, by the way. The city, not Sanders. I might live down the road from Austin Sanders. I don't know where he is. 229, Austin Sanders, do you have any advice for getting over initial nerves when starting a new job in IT? Afraid I won't know how to complete a certain task, may not do it well. Look, that's completely normal. You do not know your job when you start your new job. You should be nervous about it. I started with Total Seminars a little over 11 years. I am a highly competent instructor. I went in, I did my presentation for them, wasn't uncomfortable, wasn't nervous about it. I know my stuff instructionally, I know my stuff technically, but on the first day of the job, I don't know what the job is. I don't know what material we're going to use to teach from, what their teaching style is. You got to fit within that. Same thing. You're going to get buttoned up with somebody. You're going to be beside somebody, on the phone with somebody, or they're going to set you out to say, look, do your best. Here's a phone and here's a computer. And if you can't help somebody out, they're not going to do this. They're not going to make you sink or swim, because you're going to have to learn how to use their ticketing system. But they're going to give you somebody to say, here's who to ask questions from. So this is the piece of advice. Whenever you start a new job, there is one thing that you have to do, and that's listen. Listen to what they do. Listen to what they tell you to do. Pay attention, and you're going to be fine. You are 6 months from now going to say, man, I can't believe how incompetent I was at this particular skill or job than I am today. And man, if I knew only now today what I knew back then, they wouldn't have kept me on board. They expect you to learn their way and lots of new stuff as time goes on. So relax. You're going to be fine. Michael Holman up 110% agrees. Thank you so much. And I missed stuff here. Okay. Juan at 2:30. Hey, Dave, out of curiosity, what kind of positions does Linux Plus get you? Linux administration, documentation, support, first level support, junior administrator, corporate trainer. Hey, I'm in my company. Let me teach my new people or teach our in-house staff how to use the system, how to log in, simple stuff like that. It's a good certification, and it's a foundational certification. It's just like the trifecta, A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. Those aren't expertise certifications. They lay down foundations for you to then develop expertise through experience and more advanced studies. Linux Plus is the same thing. It makes you functional. It introduces concepts in Linux. It introduces things that every Linux administrator needs to know, how to use these commands and what the file structure is. It was a good question. I have that also. Everybody's got nerves, you bet. Brian Fury. Ron Lama, how long does it take a person stay in a role in IT? I see people switching employees every couple of years. Yeah, look, 1 to 3 years is from entry level to next level. Folks tend to stay in the next level for a little longer. It's better paying. It's got more responsibilities, more learning opportunities. If you stay as long as 3 years, that next step is probably a managerial step. And even that second step may very well be managerial. Zach's not with us today, but Zach has become a team leader and a manager of his teams. He started out here with almost zero technical background, did a couple of years, 1 or 2 years as PC tech support, moved in as a tech support manager, managing a team. And so 1 to 3 years, let's say 2 years on average. Yeah, listen. Agree with you, Brian. Ali, after going through a whole chapter, I feel like I got everything that session, but after a couple of days, I test myself and feel like I forgot some of what I studied. Any advice? Yep, you know the advice. review it again. So I get this question a lot on one of the other forums that I moderate. I went through this all and I'm utterly confused. Great. Stop for one day and then go back and review everything again. Stop for one day and do it again. And I guarantee 3 or 4 trips around that, and you will have 90% retention on that. The next thing you want to do, all of you who are studying and worried about, I'm going to forget this, or how do I remember this? Try to use it. Okay. If you have to build a lab, cool. If you run into something that you saw Mike do on a presentation, as long as it's not going to wreck your machine or make some permanent negative change, do it. Okay. Change the IP address on your workstation. Do some soldering. Do everything you can. Get your hands on this stuff. Get a Raspberry Pi and build web servers and change port numbers and build email servers and all the other ports and protocols that you can get your hands on. Watch my show on Friday to learn how to do these kinds of things. By the way, drama this Friday, we're going to do that thing. Oh, BusyBox. BusyBox is for people who use Linux but don't want to be administrators, and they don't want to know the heavy, gory details, but they need to be able to manage their own system to some degree. So what BusyBox has is 400 commands in it. You'll never use them. There's 1,400 commands in Linux. There's 400 commands in there, and they are slimmed down and mashed up commands of standard Linux commands. So they have different names, but they are the kinds of things and have the kinds of options. Sorry, I just had to make sure somebody didn't send me a message about bots. They're the kinds of tools that regular everyday users need, and only as much power as they need. So we're going to talk about how to install that on Raspberry Pi and do a little tour of it, and on other operating systems as well. Chris Kent, is it possible to use a percentage of the 1001 practice test for study with 1101? I know it can't be for the whole thing. Yeah, in theory, you should be able to use about 50%. About 25% of 10OX was pulled from the objectives. About 25% new material was added to the objectives. And then the whole thing was refocused to have a much higher focus on enterprise support rather than small business. It's still there, and personal and residential support. But the CompTIA sees an expanded role for technicians in the enterprise environment. Elias Ngobeni, a definite new face. Welcome, Elias. Nice to see you. Hello. Do I have to add my residential address when purchasing an A+ voucher? I don't know. I have not. When you purchase the voucher, no. When you purchase the voucher, you do not need to provide a residential address. However, when you use the voucher to register for an exam, you absolutely must provide an address where they can send you mailings, where they will send your certificate of completion or your A+ certificate or your Network Plus certificate. So you will have to do that at some point. And the address that you use is where the country in which you're going to have to take the exam. Okay, packet tracer. What about packet tracer? Did I miss a question to which that's an answer to? Michael Holman, I am not sure why you mentioned packet tracer. If it's something I need to know, post again. If that's an answer to somebody else's question, it's cool. Ali, I want to play with different RAID configurations. Okay, you can do that. You can do that with virtual machines. Set up multiple disks as long as your virtual machine has virtualized RAID controllers. You could also do it with virtualized disks using Microsoft storage solutions. But they are de-emphasizing that stuff. Andre de Goyert, just fall in love with what you do. If you're passionate about it, it gets a lot easier to learn. It's absolutely true. Juan Flores, does going for certs while going to school seem feasible? Lots of people do it. I plan on going back to college. Yeah, lots of people do. And your number one tool in getting interviewed and hired is a degree. Your number two tool is certificates. Combine the two of them. Doesn't get you the job, but it gets you first crack at the interview, and you're the most qualified person to be interviewed with that in experience. Those you put those three things together: your degree, your certifications, and experience. And unless you hose the interview, you've got work. Mike, you're looking rugged today. It must be me. Yeah, it's ragged, I think is probably the word you mean. Those of you who just joined, yeah, we got a good amount of people now. I am not Mike Meyers. This is the Mike Meyers AMA. I am Dave Rush, Mike's senior instructor at Total Seminars. And Mike, as you may know, if you watched the show the other day, had knee surgery on Monday, and he was in good shape on Monday, thinking that it was a non-event. However, turns out the healing process is a somewhat uncomfortable process after a couple of days. And Mike was in a lot of pain today and asked me to cover the slot for the moment. Johnny 5, I am so late today. I know I already marked you as absent, so you may as well not be here. Just, you're already absent. Kidding. Enjoy. Abu Bakr Al-Haj, I knew you would turn up. Thank you, my friend. I'm excited for the next drama episode. Me too, because I haven't started, other than selecting it and doing a little reading about it, I haven't started prepping on it. I'll get a little bit done tonight. I'm going to be up late tomorrow night prepping and writing and making downloadable stuff. There we go. Hey, okay, I get a couple more comments here, and then let's do some contests and do some giveaways. Chris Ken says, thank you, Michael Homan. I was just saying for practice. Okay, Packet Tracer is a valid tool for practice in perhaps Network Plus, certainly in stuff like CEH or Pen Test Plus. You don't need it for A+, you don't need it for Sec+. Many thanks for the good advice, says Brian Fury. I have to go now. We'll miss you. Thank you for coming in. Johnny 5A, Dave, do the vouchers work if you're going to take the test online or only if you're taking it at a test center? Same voucher, no matter which you schedule for. Blue Lantern, you have seen before. Think I can get a job as a felon? Other people have. I'm trying to think about, do I want to do a wisecrack there, a joke or something serious? But no, I'm just going to stay. Yes, felons get work. Obviously, it needs to depend on the employer's attitudes and things like that, whatever the laws of discrimination do or don't allow. Thanks a lot, says Elias. I'm in South Africa. I would have bet that, because I kind of recognize the last name. I know most of the Ngobenis down there. I know all of your family, your uncles and aunts. We grew up together in, a small village outside of Soweto. So Andre Goyer, Mike never looked this good. Stop it. He's watching probably. Susie, welcome among us. Oh, heck, I'm sure is what she meant to type at 2:42. How in the world did I accidentally fall into a CompTIA group? Is this? I already passed. You passed all the CompTIA exams and you have all the employment that you want. Outstanding. Congratulations. I still have CompTIA exams I want to pass. Moms D, hello. Nice to see you back. Cinderfly is back. Good to see you. I ran across your name and some documentation I was chasing down this week. Andre talking to Susie. Steady as Shark. Long time no see. I finally booked my 1001 for next week. Any specific areas that I should focus my last minute studying on? No, the questions are randomly selected. There's a pool of we estimate about 600 questions. And so just know a little bit about everything. Or no, yeah, there's no or on that one. I screwed up the grammar. It's okay. The way I pronounce it, I fix people's grammars. Let's see. I'm a little worried about the type of command line questions in 1002. There are two types of command line questions you're going to run into. Some PBQs require that you use a command line utility. I would definitely know when and how to use the utility that uses /fixboot. I don't remember what it is. Know that one and be able to type it in and run it. And the problem with when you do the ones on PBQs, if you do it for real on your home system, and you do it successfully, it will tell you did it successfully. And if you did it unsuccessfully, it'll tell you, hey, you screwed up. You don't see output results when you type in the command in the PBQ on the exam. You type it in and you hope you did it right and hit submit and move on. And then there'll be there's multiple choice questions about various command line utilities. What's the right utility? What's the right switch? You won't get many of them, right? I mean, there's only 60 or 70 questions and a handful of PBQs. Theoretically, there's 90 questions max, but you're not going to get 90 because for each PBQ, they drop off about 10 questions. So, you're going to get 2, worst case 3 command line questions. So don't sweat over anything, particular thing. Susie talking to Andre, Blue Lantern, since it can be remote, how would someone get a job that's outside the United States while working remote within the United States? Apply. Look on sites, go to LinkedIn and do job searches and specify international. Easy enough. Tellowit, Blue Lantern. Okay, must be me. All right, caught up on questions then. How are we doing on time here? 46. That's a perfect time to do a couple of contests, and we'll come back, get the last of the questions in, and wind things up pretty much on the hour. So if you missed the show this Monday, it was so good and so cool and so amazing and so powerful. Watch it. Okay, go back in the archives and watch that episode. Tweak your interview techniques, tweak your resume, how to deal with HR. There's so much. It's the best hour and 20 that you're going to spend before you go send out your next resume or before you schedule your next interview. But because it was going so well, we said, let's not do a contest. We'll push it off till Wednesday. So we're going to do 2 contests today. We'll start with the first one here. These are contests for 90-day free access to any of our Total Tester practice tests. What you're going to do is you're going to win, and then you're going to send me an email. I'll put a link up on how to send me an email. Let me get that ready. And a slide, and let's see, show notes. This one, AMA special. Oh, yeah, I didn't post the specials. Let me post the specials real quick. Code this week is flakes, because cornflakes were invented on Monday back in 1774. All right, now I can go get I guess I'll put the Discord invitation up there too. All right. By the way, the live show that Mike was going to do this Thursday night has been pushed back till next Thursday. So if you signed up for that, you'll probably get some notification. And just go out to LinkedIn, look for Mike Meyers, and you'll see his post and the links for that. All right, there's the questions. I need to prep the what happens if you win email. There it is. Control C, paste that in there. That's ready to rock. All right. So I'm going to ask you a question here. This first contest has 3 answers. You have to give me 3 answers. You can do it all. You have to do it all on the same post. It's not going to be a random number question. First one that I find acceptable, because this one's a little bit gray, is going to win 90-day access. What you're going to do if you win is you're going to send me an email with some specific information, and I will get that submitted on Friday to the appropriate people. They'll take care of it first thing Monday morning, so do not delay. If you win today, send me your submission today, please. Thank you very much. All right, let me get a slide up here. Total Seminars Discord channel, TTO winner. There, our TTO question number 1. Let's set that up to share. Here comes the first question. So you're going to post your answer in the chat feed. Share screen right here. All right, peripherals are devices that are connected to a computer, either internally or externally. They can be categorized as input devices or output devices, and some devices like hard drives, modems, cable modems and stuff can be both. An input device provides information into the computer, and that's all. An output device accepts information from the computer, and that's all. And some devices are both. They can put information into the computer and get information out of the computer. What I want you to do is list 3 peripherals that are exclusively input devices. First one to put 3 input devices, exclusive input devices on their chat post will win 90-day free access to the Total Tester practice test of your choice. Ooh, there's one I didn't have in my list of possible right answers. That's kind of cool. Hey, there's a new face in the crowd. Arib Khan, nice to meet you, sir. Sling Buzz, that's familiar. Guys are pretty sharp. And some of you are just flat out humorous. Yeah, I like that one. I put that one in my list because I thought a lot of people wouldn't get it. So nice job on there. That's another really good one that people are often confused by. So I'll talk about that in a second here. Doing fine, about 10 more seconds, and then we'll pick a winner out of this crowd. Meantime, I can go do this. Sorry, I was reading stuff and doing stuff. All right, a lot of common stuff here. Intrigued about Monday's video. Going to it now. Very good, Daniel. Do I have to pay for the courier of the certificate? No, they will mail it to you. They will post it to you. All right, we got plenty of guesses in here. Some very good guesses in there. They're not guesses. You guys knew what you were doing. I do have a winner. Let me put my my answer sheet up here. First of all, we'll share that. PTO2 answer is going to vary. It may include things like keyboard, mouse, camera, others. There were scanners in there. I hadn't thought about that. So it has to be exclusively input devices. I saw at least one output device. I saw some stuff that were purely humorous. Chris Kent, thank you very much. Keyboard touchpad is a good one there. Keyboard, mouse, trackpad, kind of the same as the touchpad, right on there, touch screens. Fingerprint scanner is an input device only. Very good. All right. Our first one that popped up on my screen was Tullowit. Tullowit's a previous winner. I didn't limit previous winners. So Tullowit, congratulations. You've won 90-day access. I know you're studying on some a new exam, so it's going to be really useful and practical for you. You're going to Tullowit, congratulations. Unofficial total seminars TTO winner. You're going to send me an email to my work email, daver@totalsem.com, and put these 4 fields in that email: your YouTube name, your real name. I know your real name, the email address that you want me to send your access code to, and which practice test you want by exam number. I am posting that right now into the chat feed. And then I'm prepping it again for the next winner. Congratulations to Tullowit. I have another question. This one's a little more in depth. Let's just say, let me go get the right thing here. Let's stop that share for a second. While I prep my other ducks in a row, do that, save this, move that, touch this, put that. All right, that's all in the right place. This is all in the right place. That's going to go there. All right, my stuff is ready. Let's go check the chat feed here real quick. All right, reading questions here. David Rush, I sent the required email last week. I'm not saying you didn't. By the way, I'm still behind on the one from the 9 contest that we did on my my show. I am so sorry about that. We've had so many all hands on decks projects and changes in my projects. I will not let the weekend go without doing that. But this is a really big weekend here at the Rush household. The kid is going back to school for his final year. I told him that if he did good grades for all of his other years, he could take a car to school. So we've been getting him a car and getting that all prepped this week. And the missus is going to be in tears, just like the kid goes off to college by themselves. We've always driven him up and gone and picked him up and things like that. So he's just going to load up his car and drive away. And I'm going to spend the entire day consoling my missus as her baby drives away. USB printer. No, that's an output device. Modem, that's an input device and an output device. A multi-function printer is well. Okay, Andre said the same thing. A USB flash drive, bi-directional. You can write to it, that's output. You can read from it, that's input. Joystick, input only. Totally with you on that. Retinal scanners, blood scanners. Yeah, okay, all good stuff. All right, let's do contest number 2. This is for the same prize, 90-day free access to any total test or practice test in our inventory. We got lots of them. We got lots of CompTIA ones. We got AWS ones. Just go to TotalSem website, totalsem.com, and take a look at total tester or practice test. There's a tab up on the top, and that'll take you to the listing of all of our stuff. And you'll see it's all categorized, and it's cool and it's amazing. User. Those are break it devices. All right, let us set up TTO1, TTO2, TTO3 is a question. All right, here it comes. Going to share the question, going to read it, and you can start putting in answers. Oh, let me know what time. All right, 2:56. So answers for the next question are after 2:56 my time. You go there, you go here, and we share. Click, click, share. So the question, logic functions are used in programming, electronics, ciphers, and plenty of other areas with respect to ciphering, encoding and decoding, and encrypting and decrypting data. In the areas of ciphering, which logical function compares the value of 2 bits and then generates a 0 if the 2 bits match or a 1 if they don't? This is an operation that can be used backward and forward to encrypt or unencrypt data. We've talked about this function in the past. It's a logic function. It's a logic operand. Sometimes they call it. I'll give you an example of an operand. A NOR, N-O-R, is a logical function or a logical operand. So I'm looking for a logical operand that compares the value of 2 bits, generates a 0 if the 2 bits match, or a 1 if they don't match. I know it's complicated. We cover it in Sec Plus. It's not something you have to know in Sec Plus, but Mike teaches it in his books and his classes. And so I thought I would. Boolean, right? Boolean logic is what it's called. How often do you guys do these? We have, Mike does an AMA every Monday at 2 o'clock Central Data Time, Central Daylight Time, and on Wednesdays. And then I do a 2-hour show, same time, same place, every Friday. So we do collectively 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Coin flip, a racing wheel. Okay, we're done with the inputs and outputs, Andre. Ron Lama says NAND. Ron Lama says XOR. Ron Lama, if one of those answers is correct, it doesn't matter. You don't get multiple swings at it. No multiple bites at the apple. Sorry, bud. I don't know. Well, there's time to look it up. Look, nobody seems to know this, or I don't have a winner yet. How's that? I haven't gone through all the answers. But of the answers that I've looked at, thank you, Tulawit. Bad pun. Ifs, if thens. There's another one who's made 2 guesses. One may or may not be right, but you only get 1 bite at the apple, folks. So no. I'm going to keep it up here for another minute. It is a comparison operator. I don't know why you've got 4 things there. I'm looking for a 1-word answer. That's a Boolean operator, Boolean logic. Stop it, Tullowit. Don't make me come over to Hawaii and talk to you face to face. Come on, you can look this up. There have been mentions of Boolean operators in here. Let me look through some of these. I see NAND was listed, XOR was listed. NAND, somebody that's a typo meant and then change it to NAND. There's another reference to XOR, and there's plenty of other operands. I think I gave you an example of one. I gave you NOR. So do a little lookup. Look up Boolean logic or Boolean operators. Don't need code in here. I knew it was going to be a little bit challenging. Stop it, Tullowit. Don't make me block you. Not because I care. You're a humorous guy, but it clutters up as I'm trying to look through answers. I'll wait this one out. I got a little bit of time left before show ends. All right, I lied. I do not have a little time. It's time for the show to end. And so I'm being forced into accepting one of the people who did multiple inputs. That just irks me, but congratulations, Ron Lama. Ron Lama, you are the winner with XOR. It's an XOR operation. XOR says I'm going to look at a 1 and a 0, and if they are the same, I'm going to generate a 0. And if they're different, one's a 0 and one's a 1, or one's a 1 and the other's a 0. I know that sounds like it's different, or it's the same thing, but it's not, it's different. Then it generates a 1. And so you can do that backward and forward to encrypt and decrypt data. Ron Lama, congratulations. You are the winner of 90-day free access to any of our Total Tester Practice Test products. I am posting right now in the chat feed, bottom of the hour, the instructions on how to get it. Let us put the answer up here. Answer is XOR. And again, copy and paste that from the chat feed. But here's the explanation of it. You're going to send an email to me, Dave R. at totalsem.com. In the body of the email, you must include these 4 fields. There are no exceptions. I can't use the stuff in the header. Don't use words like same as the other one. I need 4 entries on your email. It's got your YouTube name, your real name, the email address that you want us to send you your access code information, and which practice test you would like by the exam number that you want to take. Hey, folks, that's all of it for today. I apologize for Mike not being here today. He should be well recovered by his Monday show, which is scheduled to be a regular show. Nothing, we don't have special guests or anything like that set up. This is the Mike Meyers Ask Me Anything show. And I am Dave Rush, filling in with the big shoes today. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars. I'm the resident Pi specialist, and join me again on Monday. I'm sorry, in 2 days, on Friday at the same time, 2 o'clock Central Time, for drama. Dave Rush Ask Me Anything, where we talk about the same kinds of things, except we add Raspberry Pis into the mix, using Raspberry Pis as tools to foster our studies in certifications and networking and computing and all kinds of things. Got a really fun show for you this Friday. And so let's wind things up then by clicking over here. There we go. And saying, first of all, as ever and always, my gratitude and well wishes to Mike Meyers, that he heals quickly and everything back to normal. Dudley Leamer, everybody at Total and National Cyber Group, who so generously provide us with time and resources to get together and meet with you. My most heartfelt thanks goes to you and everyone who comes here to participate. I am Dave Rush, Senior Instructor, Total Seminars and Resident Pi Specialist, wishing you a great rest of the week. Take care of each other, take serious steps to stay healthy, and if at all possible, call or visit your parents. And never forget, technology is great, but the greatest resource we have are you and I. And so with that, good night. I will see you on drama this Friday and at the AMAs next week. Until then, I am out of here.